Essentially, even though they will sometimes try to intimidate us, eventually we hold our nerves. That is one thing that I understood and tried to make it a bit relaxed, like cracking some joke or something like that shows
Yeah,
our presence
absolutely.
of mind. Yeah. The fact that we need to show up even when it's hard
Hmm.
is something that can do wonders in UPSC. It may take some time, but eventually it will fall in place. You will reach somewhere,
Hmm.
but you need to be disciplined and consistent the way you work. So that's one thing that I have to tell aspirants. I don't know, I had this obsession for this goal that I should crack it. And I had a feeling that I will go to any extent to crack this. Not
Hmm.
in crooked means.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today we have with us Aravind Kutti, and he has secured AR 248 in Civil Services Exam 2025. So first and foremost, congratulations, Aravind. How are you feeling?
Thank you, sir. I'm feeling a bit of relief because I've been trying this for the past 3, 4 years. So that's the one big feeling that uh, came to me when the list came out. And I'm happy to see my parents happy. So yeah,
I think
overall,
that's the best feeling because
yeah,
it fades. Matlab the high of the result because you're used to that UPSC journey, na? कि भाई, हाँ, there
yeah,
is something you're passing, you're failing, okay, matlab something is happening. But now this time around, because the parents are so happy that
yeah,
it just sets up that positive feedback loop, and they're
yeah.
constantly ask like, "Arre, my boy."
I think that is like as a son, I think making them proud is something that make me proud. So
And I think that's one of the best things that, about Indian society, that we are so concerned about our familial, responsibilities, that we really
yeah,
want to make our parents proud.
yes.
So, Arvind, can you just give me a brief about your background? Which school did you go to, and where did you go your college, and what's your UPSC journey been so far?
Yeah, sure. In terms of my school, I went to a school near my home. It's called Gurukulam.
Hmm.
And after 12th, I studied BTech in Government Engineering College, Thrissur. I did electrical engineering.
Hmm.
And post that, I worked for a brief period in an MNC, in IT sector.
Hmm.
And during that time, I was preparing for UPSC and I gave my attempt in 2023. So I resigned before the 2023 prelims, just before 2023 prelims.
Hmm.
I was not expecting to be in the list of 23 prelims because I was not much prepared.
Hmm.
Then properly, I shifted to Trivandrum after the attempt and I properly gave my attempt in 2024. And in 2024, I could clear prelims with forest cutoff, but I
Hmm.
couldn't clear mains.
Hmm.
So that is one setback where I learned a lot of things. And between that, I was writing the CAPF 2024, and I could clear that as well with
Hmm.
rank 69. And that gave me a kind of confidence. Like there was this attitudinal shift, like,
Hmm.
okay, come whatever may, I will do this. I have no issues. I have a job. So I have a group A job.
Yeah.
Um, so I was in that mindset. I gave my prelims, I gave my mains,
Hmm.
and post mains I was chilling, just enjoying, traveling,
Hmm.
and uh, and the paper came out and I could clear mains, and that
Hmm.
was one very satisfying feeling because in 2024 I couldn't clear
Hmm.
mains, and 2025 cleared mains. So going to the interview again after the CAPF, and uh, finally after the interview, like
Hmm.
uh, after the interview, just after the interview, I was quite tensed because my
Yeah,
interview
you
was,
had called me around that time.
yeah,
There
my
was an
interview was,
incident and like XYZ.
yeah. And I was a bit tensed because,
And I think that's a
act,
that's a very good story to actually share over here,
yeah,
because
yes,
I would please want you to share that story, because
yeah,
even then I told you this same thing, that not many people take the call that you took, and that is why, it'll prove to be good for you.
yeah, probably. Let's let the mark come out. Let's
Yeah,
see
we'll find
what,
out.
yeah. So then again, after the interview, I was tensed. Again, after the results were about to come out,
Hmm.
the rumor started. It will come today. It will come today, and the
Hmm.
tension is building, going its peak.
Hmm.
And finally, on March 6th, the PDF came out, and yeah, I found my name. So I'm quite relieved to find my name. More than any kind of excitement
Hmm.
because of the failures and setbacks. I think that uh, it's a kind of satisfaction that I got.
I think this is also something that I told you earlier, that there's something called momentum, right? Once you've cleared one exam, it's just like, it starts falling in line. That you had cleared CAPF, so now because of that, you had that confidence. So now I think this will also go for you. Right. So, Arvind, I would want you to really tell me about that story again.
Okay, yes, I think everyone should know. So it was on February 2nd, and it was afternoon session. And recalling my day, it was a bit clumsy all over. Like, I don't know, things falling and not getting cold, hot water in Delhi. So it was a bit frustrating day for me. Not properly getting Uber. I think it got delayed as well. Again, I reached on time, but yeah, everything is like I
Just
felt like everything is
not happening as you want.
rightly. Then at the UPSC Dholpur, my certificate fell down. Everything, my file fell down. Everything went apart. So it was just like that. Then again, the board president they called me.
Chairman.
Then chairman called me. Into the that waiting chair. And yeah, that moment too, it was a bit cold in Delhi. I'm coming from Kerala. It's hot out here. In Delhi, it's cold. So
I think around that time it was like low tens, like 15-degree, 14-degree type it would be.
So then again, it's my time. Like they called me in, and I went inside. And the first question that the president asked me was, "Have we met before?" I haven't seen him before. So then I said no. Like probably he thought that I had him as the board president during the CAPF, and it was a different person. So first question was that. And one thing that I should say is my first preference is IPS. So he asked me the question like, do you consider Aamir Khan as a role model? I actually didn't know where the question came from. So I said, those who want to pursue acting can consider him as a role model. For me, I'm not much interested in acting or any such career. Then he asked me in the next question, have you seen Sarfarosh? So that's where I got to understand that in the Sarfarosh, the character chooses IPS as his first choice, despite having marks to get having the rank to get IAS. So I haven't actually watched the movie before.
It's a nice movie. You can watch.
Yeah, sure. I need to watch now. I didn't watch between the result because I may get trauma. So yeah, again, he went on asking about my IPS preference, like why did you want IPS? Then he asked me, then tell 3 words to describe police. Then I said 3 good words that came to my mind. And he said the word bully. Do you think police should bully someone? Then I said, no, sir, police should not bully anyone. Then straight away he asked me, have you bullied someone? Then I thought, like, if I lie there, I have bullied like during my school days when I was a kid, when we have no sense of what's happening. So yes, I said, sir, yes, I have bullied. So that is one point where the board members were quite surprised. They were taken back, like. So yes, I said yes, and I said how I did body shaming. And later on during the COVID period, I understood about political correctness. And then I apologized to that person. So that's what I told. And it was an actual incident. So it actually life becomes a full circle. Like
Actually,
at
and
that.
the good thing that you did over here was you were absolutely honest with it. And you were honest about the fact that you learned, okay, my behavior was not the correct thing to do. And you apologized also.
Actually, like when I apologized to that person during that time, it was during COVID. I never had this civil service as my career or choice. I was into engineering at that time. But after 5 or 6 years, when I came to an UPSC interview, the board president asking me if I have bullied someone, if I have said sorry. So I think what I did before reflected after 6 years. So I feel so happy about that.
And
And
like
the
the
result
good
came
choice
out
that you
positive.
made.
And the result came out positive as well. So I think I did something good.
Well, the best thing that you did over there was that you apologized and you realized that you were wrong and you corrected yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times what happens is that, this is why it was a pertinent question to ask somebody who had IPS as a preference.
Yeah.
A lot of the times the police realizes that they're wrong, but they don't correct themselves. Why? Because you don't need to, because you have the power. So therefore, having a person who is able to correct themselves, I would say, is a good character trait, good personality trait to look for.
Again, we have to wait for the marks. Yeah. And
I think you will do well.
yeah, let's see.
Unless of
But
course you've done other issues, but like based on this interaction, I like even then I told you, I think you should like have good
let's
extreme
see.
marks.
Um, then again, then chairman asked me something about my DAF. So
Hmm.
that was normal, expected, unexpected lines.
Hmm.
Uh, he asked a couple of. It was very long. The first interaction with chairman.
Hmm.
Then the second member asked about a bit about policing, and I think I could do it well.
Hmm.
And about the third person, it was very. I was. I did a lot of. I mean,
Hmm.
extreme opinions. I took like that. It was something not. It was about school students, salary of primary school teachers, something like that.
Hmm.
It was on unexpected lines, and the opinion that I took was not, suiting to the, or it was not a balanced opinion. I took a stand.
Hmm.
Then coming to the fourth person, this person asked me about international relations, like the
So
tariff.
just a small aside over here for anybody listening. Arvind took a stand. What does that mean? That simply meant that given a particular situation, he took a strong argument for, okay, this is how it is supposed to be. Maybe that is not a balanced opinion. Maybe that is not a very, generally accepted opinion. But if you take a stand in the interview, and you can take stands in the interview, it has to be a reasoned stand. It can't just be कि नहीं मतलब नहीं करेंगे ऐसे नहीं करेंगे. It should be कि okay, we should do this even if it is extreme. Why do we do this?
Again, the topic was not controversial, like it was something. So
Primary
yeah, it's
school
actually
salaries.
very safe to take a stand.
Yeah.
So, and then the fourth person after the chairman. So he asked me a bit about the tariff.
Hmm.
Uh, there too, I could not answer it properly. He asked me what was the one thing that affects India during the when
Hmm.
US exports come into India, something like that. When US goods enter into India tariff free. So I said something about e-commerce or something like that. Actually, I should have said agriculture.
Hmm.
Then he corrected me. It was agriculture. Like he just said it assertively. So again, I did not fear what his response. I said, "Oh, sorry, sir, I missed that. I should have said that." Something like that. I
Hmm.
said. Then moving on to the fifth person, that was a lady member, and she asked me to check whether I'm patriarchal, misogynist. Like questions were on that lines. Like
Hmm.
she asked me one interesting question was she asked me, "What do you feel? What do you feel when you see Shah Rukh Khan crying in the cinema?"
Hmm.
So I said, it is very good because
Hmm.
men showing their vulnerability, men
Hmm.
being able to emotionally express themselves is something that should be shown in movies. So I
Hmm.
said something like that. And there was a few questions about my, um, uh, sorry, it was something related to my school.
Hmm.
Like, uh, again, before that, when they were asking questions, I was narrating from my personal experience, like about bullying
Hmm.
and few other questions as well. So the lady member asked me, "Don't you have any other experience? You are always telling about school."
Hmm.
So then I said, "Okay, ma'am, I will try some other." Then again, another question she asked was about how to take road safety
Hmm.
classes to school students.
Hmm.
So then I said, "Ma'am, again, I'm going to back to school." Then she said she laughed like it was a fun moment, and
Hmm.
I explained that question. So essentially, even though they will sometimes try to intimidate us, eventually we hold our nerves. That is one thing that I understood and tried to make it a bit relaxed, like cracking some joke or something like that shows
Yeah,
our presence
absolutely.
of mind. Yeah.
And I think
Then
even then, when we had that conversation, I told you exactly this thing. कि भाई, just because you were able to make कि भाई, मतलब make a joke in that situation also should be
yeah,
a positive sign in your, favor.
yeah. Again, it's not over. uh,
But so far as this round is done, it is over.
yeah. And
You
coming
have a
back to the
rank
main,
and like you'll get a service, which
no,
is
I mean
hmm.
about my interview, it's not yet over.
Acha,
So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, again, the final member said thank you, and she nodded her head, and I thought it was over. And it was an awkward silence for 5, 6 seconds. I thought it was over, and I waited, and I thought it was over. I said, "Thank you, sir, I'm leaving," and I stood up and I started walking. Then chair said, "Arre, Ruko, it's not over. Please wait," and he made me to sit again. And he asked a few questions again, like uh, I had already said that I have a love for uniform job.
Hmm.
So he asked me if you get into IRS, probably this is what I'm going to get right now after the rank. So,
Hmm.
uh, and what he said became true. Again, the question was, if you get IRS or something, will you wear the police uniform and go into office?
Hmm.
So first I said like the rule part, it is against the rules
Hmm.
to wear police uniform. It can
Hmm.
create impersonation. It's illegal, etc. Said something like that, and I
Hmm.
said I won't wear, sir. Then he again asked if you will wear the stars, the
Hmm.
cap, or the
Hmm.
nameplate and go to the office. It can be
Hmm.
done, right? So again I said no, sir. I don't think I will do that. It's not right to do. Then
Hmm.
finally he asked me like he if you will wear it at any other times, maybe during tea or in the
Hmm.
evening. Then I said, like, sir, maybe I will wear it in sleep. Uh, and
I think the
that
word
was
that
the,
you used was maybe I'll wear it in my dreams.
I, as soon as I started this, everyone burst out laughing and I couldn't complete my sentence. So everyone laughed and this chair said, it's over, you can go. And that was the experience of my interview. And as soon as
So
I stepped out,
let's have a prediction over this. What do you think you will score? I think you'll score above 180.
yeah, probably, I don't know. I'm not making predictions because it's UPSC.
No, but that's the thing, na, ki now everything is pretty set. You're about to get the mark sheet maybe today, tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think you should get above 180, and please do share your mark sheet with me also
yes.
because like I would like to check my prediction. But based on the kind of interaction that you had, the kind of sort of light-hearted moments that you created over there, I think it does
Yeah,
matter.
probably. Again, after the interview, after I stepped out, the next candidate was waiting. I said
Hmm.
all the best, and the unwinding process started happening. Like,
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. Again, one thing that I missed is that while we were about to enter the hall, the
Hmm.
interview hall, we have to submit our bags, right? So they will just put a serial number on our bag or a number on our bag,
Hmm.
give some sticker so that we can take our bag back. So the number was 13,
Hmm.
1 3. So the person standing over there said it is a lucky number. Uh, don't give something like that. I mean, 13 is associated with something very
Hmm.
bad. So I said, no, it doesn't matter. I don't
Hmm.
believe in such things. Okay, give me that number. And then I went. And after that, I was thinking about this. Oh my God, is 13 really unlucky number?
I think this is what do you call this? There's a name for this effect. It's called recency bias. That just
Uh,
because you had that interview experience, then now you're thinking about is it because of the 13? Because that person said ki okay XYZ. If it had been a great interview, you would not even have questioned. It's like 13 is
yeah,
my lucky
I
number.
would have forgot that. I would
Yeah.
have, yeah.
You would have said 13 is my lucky number.
Now 13 is my lucky number.
It is, it
One,
is. It
yeah.
absolutely is. So, Arvind, if you had to give one recommendation to somebody who's just starting preparation, let's say there's somebody from Kerala who's watching this podcast and like, what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone ki bhai, okay, you manage this and the rest of it will take care of itself?
I think mindset is everything. Like
Hmm.
uh, the fact that we need to show up even when it's hard
Hmm.
is something that can do wonders in UPSC. It may take some time, but eventually it will fall in place. You will reach somewhere.
Hmm.
But you need to be disciplined and consistent the way you work. So that's one thing that I have to tell aspirants.
So, how did you maintain your consistency? Any tricks that you found along the way?
I don't know. Like I had this obsession for this goal that I should crack it, and I had a feeling that I will go to any extent to crack this. Not
Hmm.
in crooked means, but uh, but
In terms of the
my
effort, in terms of the,
effort. Yes,
things
yes.
that you do. Hmm.
So that's one thing I think that worked for me. So I worked very hard. I'm not per se a genius like an IITN or something, but
Mm.
I think,
Let me tell you just right now,
yeah,
IITs are not geniuses.
no, like
We're just
they are
good
just,
at
yeah.
math. We're just good at math. That's it.
No, I'm saying that I'm
Mm.
not from IIT or I'm not from any such college. I am
Mm.
from a college in Kerala.
Mm.
So one thing that worked for me is the effort, the consistent effort that I've taken.
Mm.
Uh, for prelims, I used to work 12 to 13 hours. For
Mm.
mains, I used to work 12 to 13 hours. And I did this almost every day.
Mm.
So there are some days that we could not do this. I could not do this. But
Mm.
again, overall, I could do that. I could be consistent. So that's one thing that helped me a lot. So that's one thing that aspirants, future aspirants should work for.
Right. So, Arvind, if you had to recommend one particular, let's say, book, TV series, or movie, something that you would want all UPSC aspirants should watch, just that it should not be related to syllabus.
It's very hard. My favorite series is Breaking Bad, and it's not recommended for UPSC.
Actually, but it's a great series. Actually, I would also
Yeah,
recommend it. It's a great
and one
series.
thing, yes, I would recommend Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers
Since
is also a
yeah,
very good series.
I had this love for uniform, so I loved
Mm.
watching Band of Brothers, and it was very much emotionally. I was so invested in it, so I liked that very much. So
So I
that
think
is one thing that,
similarly, there are other series also, which is I think Pacific is
yes,
one
Pacific.
series.
Yes,
Then there is Generation Kill,
yeah.
right? And then there is also another one, Masters of the Air.
I haven't watched this. I
So
have
you
just
can watch
watched Band
Masters
of
of
Brothers.
the Air
Yeah,
because this is the third part of the World War II series. Band of Brothers is Western Europe, and then Pacific is obviously the Pacific
Japan.
theater, and then Masters of the Air is the Air War,
Yeah.
and all of them are great series and like absolutely phenomenal. So Arvind, last question. Right now there is a lot of conflict going on in the Middle East. What do you think?
Actually, I think that it's international politics, and there is no such thing as right or wrong.
Hmm.
My optional is PSIR. So everything that's happening is happening because some countries try to bring in their national interest. So it's a realistic world, and conflicts will
Hmm.
happen. And I think that you know we know the situation of
Hmm.
what UN can do,
Hmm.
and I hope that this conflict ends soon because in Gulf we have a lot of family members who are working and
Hmm.
who are scared of losing their jobs.
Hmm.
So I hope that the conflict gets over.
And absolutely, that is always generally the correct answer that most conflicts are not required. There
Yeah,
are some conflicts at times that will be required, but a lot of the times when a value is threatened, then maybe a conflict is required. But otherwise, generally, I just say, like, I think this one in particular was, I don't know what the Americans were thinking, but
yeah.
anyhow, so I think we'll end the session over here, and I've also given you one particular recommendation. So generally, Arvind, what we tend to do is I like to give books. So is there a particular book that you would want to read, or would you want me to recommend some book for you?
Nothing pretty much like if you give me, I will read it. That's it.
Okay, so I will try and give you some book which can be very, close to the whole uniform wala theme and everything.
Yeah.
Let me try and see if there is a nice book that I can find. Just give me a moment. I have my lists. How do you like old wars?
Mhm.
As in, oh, there's a very nice book by the son of Marshal Arjun Singh. It's called The Icon, Marshal of the Indian Air Force, Arjun Singh.
Yeah, I will read it. Yeah, sure.
Cool. I'll send that to you. Where did you run into UPSCprep.com?
Actually, I saw it in YouTube. Uh, I don't know. It came into some recommendations, and I
Hmm.
just clicked. Uh, yeah, that's. I can't actually exactly remember
Hmm.
how I came about to this channel, but it was through YouTube.
And like,
Some
what sort of resonated with you? Did you like some of the advice that I was giving, or like what was happening?
exactly like I felt that it was it. the way you talked was very good. So, and it captures the attention of the audience. So I think that is one where, I also held on to that. And I can't remember exactly recall anything specific, but yeah.
Did it help in any way?
Yeah, sure. In my initial days, yes. And once I became a veteran, we tend to not watch the videos like this. We know what the strategy is, what we should do. So, in my initial days of preparation, I used to watch a lot of channels, including yours.
Right. So I think that will be all. And thank you for your time and all the best for your future attempts.
Thank you.